Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're talking directly to you, the cloud architects, the platform engineers, the tech leaders out there who are literally battling the modern digital landscape every single day. You know, as enterprise cloud adoption scales up, maintaining any kind of consistency becomes a massive uphill battle. So, to solve this, we're diving deep into golden paths. We're going to cover exactly what they are, why they're the absolute bedrock of platform engineering, and how they can drastically accelerate your cloud delivery.
So, here's the roadmap for our explainer today. We're going to start with the cloud complexity crisis, clearly define what a golden path actually is, break down the framework, see how it completely transforms the developer experience, highlight some common mistakes you definitely want to avoid, and finally, look at how to design your first path. Let's just jump right in.
Section 1. The Cloud Complexity Crisis and the Massive Challenges of Scaling.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when every single team in your organization solves the exact same cloud problems differently? I mean, think about the absolute bushwhacking your developers have to do. We're talking about spinning up infrastructure, figuring out networking, building CI/CD pipelines from scratch, integrating observability. Without organizational standards, every dev team basically acts like an independent startup. They end up creating these highly unique, totally bespoke solutions for the exact same foundational plumbing.
And honestly, the consequences of that unstandardized adoption are severe. Left to their own devices, teams are going to adopt radically different deployment patterns. You might have one team using really cutting-edge Kubernetes Helm charts, while another team down the hall is just stringing together fragile bash scripts. Because of this, security implementations vary wildly, which creates massive enterprise blind spots. Over time, your infrastructure standards drift heavily, operational complexity just multiplies, and your overall business value delivery, it pretty much crawls to a halt.
Right, moving to Section 2. Defining the golden path and mapping that route to production. So, a golden path is essentially a recommended and supported approach for building, deploying, securing, and operating applications. Now, this concept was originally popularized by the engineering teams over at Spotify, but I really want you to notice those two specific words, recommended and supported. It's all about giving developers proven templates and automation that simplify cloud-native development by baking in your org's best practices completely by default.
I absolutely love this quote. Rather than forcing every team to solve the same problems repeatedly, organizations provide a standardized route to production. I want you to think of it like a fully paved road. You're eliminating all that endless repetitive plumbing, and instead you're laying down a secure, well-lit highway that goes straight from a local dev environment all the way to production.
Section 3. The Golden Path Framework, getting from the developer straight to business value. And this brilliantly illustrates that entire flow of standardization and automation. Over on the far left, we start with our developer. The golden path then guides them through a really highly structured journey, moving through templates, into CI/CD, through security, into production, until they reach the ultimate destination on the far right, which is business value, delivered faster and with way more confidence. Guys, this is platform engineering actively at work.
Let's deconstruct those 4 critical stages for a second. Step 1 is the template. These are pre-built, totally approved blueprints, so your devs are building on proven patterns from literally day 1. Step 2 is CI/CD, automated build, test, and deploy, ensuring repeatable results. Step 3 is security, meaning policies and vulnerability scans are completely built in. It's secure by default every single time. And finally, step 4 is production. The end result is an environment that is naturally reliable, scalable, and fully observable.
The absolute crucial takeaway here is drastically reducing cognitive load. You know, when your developers don't have to burn precious mental energy configuring DNS, or wrestling with 100 YAML files, or acting as part-time sysadmins, they can focus 100% of their energy on writing actual code and building features that matter.
All right, Section 4. Transforming developer experience and actually improving productivity.
Let's contrast the sort of dark ages against the enlightened state of standardized platform engineering. Without standards, all those unique snowflake solutions create massive risk and agonizingly slow delivery times. But with golden paths, the whole experience is totally transformed. You get rapid onboarding, like new hires literally pushing code on day 1. You get security by default. And because apps are following predictable deployment patterns, you drastically reduce those brutal late-night pager duty alerts. Honestly, this is exactly how you significantly improve your DORA metrics.
I really want to emphasize this next point for all the tech leaders listening right now. The objective is not control. The objective is enablement.
Like when a lot of organizations hear the word standardization, they instantly think of rigid red tape. But the absolute best golden paths provide flexibility while still maintaining organizational standards. Your developers should feel completely empowered to move incredibly fast, not restricted by some platform team's bottlenecks. Enablement is the true goal here, full stop.
Moving on to Section 5, Common Implementation Mistakes, and the pitfalls you definitely need to avoid.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing exactly how organizations get this wrong. First up, excessive rigidity. If you lock down the path so tightly that devs can't innovate, guess what? They're going to shadow IT their way right around it. Second is poor documentation. If the paved road isn't clearly marked, no one is going to drive on it. Third, a lack of automation, which pretty much defeats the entire purpose. Fourth, ignoring developer feedback is fatal. Remember, your developers are your internal customers. And finally, too many path variations. If you try building a custom path for every single tiny edge case, you completely destroy the benefit of standardization in the first place.
Finally, Section 6, designing your first path and getting started.
To successfully roll out your initial golden path, it really has to be 3 specific things. It must be opinionated, meaning your platform engineers have already made the hard architectural decisions so the developers don't have to. It must be treated as an internal product that is incredibly well supported by your platform team, and crucially, it must be exceptionally easy to adopt. The barrier to entry needs to be 0. Frankly, if adoption rates are low, it just means your path is too difficult to walk.
I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative question. Are you making the right way the easiest way for your developers? Because the future of platform engineering isn't about enforcing strict rules. It's about making secure, scalable architectures the absolute path of least resistance. So take a hard look at your platform today. If the right way is hard, developers will inevitably find a riskier way. Make the right way the easiest way. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, good luck building out your paths.